I'm Gary Byrne. I wrote the book Crisis of Character, which chronicles the real Bill and Hillary Clinton and how they really act and who the real Hillary Clinton is. So I had been a member of the Secret Service for 12 years, and unfortunately it gave me the unwanted title of the first employee of the Secret Service to ever be compelled to testify against the sitting president in a criminal case. So have you seen this video that the Clinton campaign has put out of a bunch of young children in front of a TV? They're watching distorted clips taken out of context of speeches Mr. Trump has given, and they give you the impression that if he was to become president, which is my hope, that it would be bad for children. Let me tell you who was really bad for children. His name was William Jefferson Clinton, and he was president of the United States in the early 1990s, and his wife Hillary Clinton. That's who's really bad for children. Let me tell you a real life example of something like that. I had to take my children when they were approximately ages 8 and 12, sit them down on the couch. I had to explain to them they could never research this or Google my name and President Clinton's name in school, because it could quite possibly, because of the president's behavior and what he did as president with certain employees, would lead to a porn site because of the words it would bring up. And because of President Clinton's bad behavior, and his lust against his lust for his employees, female employees, I had to testify to his behavior. I was subpoenaed 6 times. Because of their behavior, children learned a lot of things about sexual acts, and it brought on a whole new era of sexual awareness, unfortunately, for young children. So let me ask you this. During that scandal, the Lewinsky scandal, during President Clinton's, and I know there was a lot of scandals during his 8 years as tender, but this was the one with the intern. How many of you, and I've heard stories from personal friends, how many of you were sitting watching TV and your kid come in and say, "Hey Daddy, what's a job?" Or "Hey Mom, what's oral sex?" Or, "Hey Mom, why is the president in trouble? What is a sexual harassment? Hey Dad, why is it somebody would stick a cigar in a woman's private area? What is that called? Is that some kind of sex?" These are things that people had to explain all over the world because of Bill Clinton's bad behavior and because of his wife, who now wants a promotion from failed Secretary of State to President of the United States, help protect him and keep him doing these things from the time he was the Attorney General in Arkansas all the way through his presidency, and apparently, from the accusations now, it's still going on. So now I feel like I'm in a time warp. Here I'm watching Mrs. Clinton run for election like her husband did, with all these scandals revolving around her failed time as Secretary of State, and now her assistant, Huma Abedin's husband, Mr. Wiener, and everybody knows who Mr. Wiener is with the cell phone camera, has been caught again sending pictures of his erect. And this time, there's a child in the picture. How bizarre is that? I feel like I'm in a time warp. It never goes away. Now, when this story gets out, we're going to have to explain this to our children too. I hope somebody from Child Services is looking into this bizarre behavior, and this man's inability to understand that what he did with that picture and a child is wrong. If anybody else ever did that, took a picture like that with a child, anywhere else in the country, Child Services would be on them in 5 minutes. But because it involves the Clintons, we just ignore it. Again, 2 different sets of rules. The rules for everybody else: it is always wrong to expose to a child to something bizarre like that. Because she's connected to the Clintons, it seems like her and her husband are getting away with it. Nobody's asking questions about it. It's bizarre. And it's just another example of do as I say, not as I do. If Mrs. Clinton gets a promotion from failed Secretary of State to President of the United States, we will see the next 4 to 8 years of one scandal to the next. One bizarre thing. Just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, Huma Abedin's running around and other staff members with hammers crushing government equipment. I mean, how much more bizarre can it get than that? Please, do your studies. If you're kind enough, read the book Crisis of Character. Get educated on how bizarre these people are, and do the right thing. Don't vote for Hillary Clinton. Vote for Donald Trump. Peanut?